David, at the beginning, we did not know how to handle the matter, and we thought that only Jewish refugees or those with Jewish ties would come to Israel. But as it appeared during the time that more and more people from Ukraine, especially having family in Israel, because, we have many Ukrainians living in Israel, and they have families in Ukraine, and not all of them are Jewish, or not all of the Ukrainians living in Israel are Jewish. So it appeared that more and more people from Ukraine having family ties in Israel wanted to come here. And at the beginning, I think we did not understand that. And now, slowly, it sank in that why not accept refugees that have families here who can take care of them. They can live with these families. And that there's absolutely no reason that they not come for 1, 2, 3, or 4 months, or how long it takes in order for things to settle down and they being able to return. It was error and trial at the beginning, and I think that slowly we adapt to the right condition, and maybe the latest decision of yesterday is not the latest one, and other will come. But I think that Israel is now in a much better place as far as the treatment of Ukrainian refugees are concerned. We have to show sympathy, empathy, understanding, warmth, and I believe that Israel is in the right path on this issue.
What about the larger picture of Israeli policy, trying to maintain some form of neutrality here, even to be a mediator here? Ukraine's expressed some displeasure, let's say, with that position. Is it sustainable for Israel to remain somewhat in the middle?
Tell me, David, how can Ukraine express displeasure if Zelensky asked Bennett to play a mediator role? I mean, if you ask somebody to mediate, it's obvious that he has to have good ties with both parties. I think there are two voices in Ukraine. There is the main voice of Zelensky, the president, who understands exactly the value of Israel's position, that can talk with Putin, can talk with Biden, can talk with Macron and Scholz, and with himself, of course. This is a very big asset. And then there is the foreign minister, who didn't want to take a call from Lapid. Although I must say that Lapid was the most pro-Ukrainian minister in the Israeli government. He made the most stringent declarations in favor of Ukraine. So this is, I cannot understand that. Maybe there is also a little bit balagan there. But
well, certainly. Mixed messaging. I want to get your thoughts on the wider picture here, the major diplomatic efforts underway to end the war. We've seen Macron from France, we've seen Scholz from Germany making effort, but seemingly stumped, for now at least. What can be done?
What can be done is to continue the effort. I mean, obviously the situation is not yet right for a ceasefire and for talks, because we don't know what the intentions of the Russians are. Obviously, it's not so easy for them to enter Ukraine. They have a lot of problems, of military problems. They have a much harder time than they believe they would have. On the other hand, the Ukrainians are suffering a lot. So both parties will arrive, I don't know when, this week, next week, in a month, they will arrive at a stage where they will understand that it is more profitable for them to talk than to fight. We have not reached this stage, but the different intermediaries, mediators who are working, they have their hand on the pulse. And I'm sure that within a few days or a few weeks, we in Israel can be very helpful in bringing about first a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, and then maybe negotiation. But we have to have the patience to wait that conditions be right.
Ambassador Avi Pazner, as always, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, David.